It does not matter who your child is and does not matter who you are. Every child, every young person will be confronted with this. The knowledge of sex education cannot spread to these children through osmosis or diffusion. It has to be impacted. You must deliberately, intentionally teach them wholesome sex. You are the primary, number one security officer of your child. Don't fail your child. Oh, you're welcome to this channel. I'm so happy to have you here. Today, by the grace of God, I'm going to be taking you through how to equip our children to be able to recognize or identify potential sexual predators such as abusers, molesters, rapists, and so on. It is important that we teach our children what they should know so that when they find themselves in danger, they will be able to escape based on the information we have equipped them with. And one of those information is for them to know what are those signs, what are those things that when I see in a person, I can predict that this is likely a potential sexual predator. Because the moment they are able to identify the signs and the symptoms of these people, it becomes easier for them to escape from that danger. However, if they do not know what they should know, even when danger is facing them face to face, they will still not be able to escape from it because they don't know it as danger. You will see them fibbling with it and they will not even know that this is something they should run away from. This is why we must sit down with our children to teach them what they need to know. You see, the knowledge of sex education cannot spread to these children through osmosis or diffusion. It has to be impacted. You must deliberately, intentionally teach them wholesome sex education. If you don't teach them, they will not be prepared enough, because it does not matter who your child is and does not matter who you are. Every child, every young person will be confronted with these dangers. What determines the outcome is how equipped are they to face such danger and escape from it. The Bible says the one who is wise in the sense that the one who knows the danger will see it and run away from it and escape. But the one who is a fool, who does not have the information, who does not have the knowledge, will not even know it as a danger, and you will see that person walk straight into that trap or that danger. So it's important for us to sit our children down and teach them these things that we are going to be discussing over the next few series of this teaching on how to equip children to identify potential sexual predators. Since this is going to likely be in 2 or 3 series of teaching, for you to get notification when I will be posting the second and the third part, I encourage you to subscribe to the notification button so that you can get notified when I make a new post. That is one. Then also, it's good you like and share so that you will be joining us as we impact more people. This teaching is to get to much more people, so join us to do that. And also, the algorithm will recommend this video to other people if they notice that those who watch it liked it, commented, or subscribe. Before you continue, just subscribe and then you can continue with the teaching. So, like I was saying, today, by the grace of God, I'm going to now teach you some of those signs and symptoms that our children should look out for, that when they see, they will be able to identify potential sexual predators. Now, I'm going to take it in bits from the younger children. I'm going to take it to the older one until I get to the adolescents and then the adults. So I'm going to talk on each of these sections so that each person can get their own share of this training. The first sign is that potential sexual predator often create what I call unsolicited familiarity. Now, research has shown that most abusers of children are those who are very familiar to them. those who are very close to them. For instance, if your child is walking on the street and somebody call your child by his or her name, that child automatically believes that this person who has called me by my name must really know me. Then the second thing is that, you see, there are some family members that when your children notice that you like them, or you communicate with them, or you relate with them, automatically your children tend to accept any stress. This is the reason you now notice that some of these terrible, evil people, they take advantage of such trust, such innocency, just naivety, to now get to these children and mess them up. The onus now lie on you, the parent, to sit these children down and say, okay, these are the things you should watch out for. And when you notice that somebody is doing this to you, come and tell me. The moment you will keep your child that way, that child will become a threat to predators. Not long ago, we got a message from a young lady. She was 23 years old at the time. And what was the problem? She said, "Sir, I'm having a big problem. I have difficulty controlling my sexual urge, and I'm taking it up on a 5-year-old girl." I said, "What? Tell me about it." Then she continued that whenever this girl, who happens to be the daughter of our neighbor, comes to her house, she taught this girl how to fondle her, how to finger her, how to do all manner of sexual activity with her. We are talking about a 5-year-old being taught how to commit sexual immorality with a 23-year-old girl. And who is the teacher? The 23-year-old girl. This continued for quite a while, for several months, to the point that this young lady said, "Sir, the problem now is this. Even when I have listened to your message and I want to stop, it is this 5-year-old girl that will normally come to the house and we say, 'Auntie, oh yeah, let us start.'" 5-year-old girl. The mother did not know. Now look at it. When you see that your 5-year-old girl is going to visit your adult neighbor, do you think you will ever suspect anything? Even myself, I wouldn't suspect anything. But because this girl, 5-year-old, has noticed that the parent had very good relationship with that girl, the older girl, it made her also to be very free with the girl. And because he's free with the girl now took advantage of her innocency. And I'm sure this 5-year-old girl just saw it as a normal thing. Okay, this is how people do. This is how people do. To the point that she's now used to it. What do you think would have made a difference for this 5-year-old girl? Let's say when the girl was 2-year-old, 3-year-old, the mother had taught her and said, if anybody touch your private part, I mentioned the private part and say, okay, this one is your private part, this one is your private part, nobody must touch it, and you must not touch anybody's own. If this child has been taught all of these things when she was younger, what do you think will happen the first day that girl, that 23-year-old girl, wanted to molest her? That is the day that the girl will go back home and say, mommy, with her innocency, she will say, mommy, see what auntie so did, see what auntie so did. And at that point you will be able to control it, because it is still early. But because the girl does not even know what the signs and symptoms are, she has walked into the danger. So currently now we are trying to rehabilitate the girl and the two girls, because both of them need rehabilitation. They are both in problem. How are we going to help this 5-year-old girl who has become sexually stimulated as early as 5 years of age? How do we prevent her from getting sexually promiscuous when she eventually become a young adult? These are problems that could have been solved. Are taking time to expose her to age appropriate sex education. This is the reason for this teaching. When you notice that there are people that your child is very familiar with, or the people you have introduced your children to, it's very important that you caution your children against some of the things that when those people do, they should not keep quiet. They should speak out. Uncles who live in the house, aunties who come to live with you, have you taught your children about what they should look out for, and when those aunties and uncles are doing does any of those things, what are these children supposed to do? Tell your child, if you meet a new person, any day that somebody introduce themselves to you, come and tell me about it, so that we can discuss, so that I can know whether that person is a good person or not. Then you tell them, oh, it is not everybody in this world that is good, but there are so many people that are good. So since I have been here before you, I can tell you the ones that are good and the ones that are bad, so that you can stay with those ones that are good and run away from those ones that are bad. This is how we cue these children with this information. Now, if uncles comes to their house, you will notice that initially, or aunties, you notice that initially the children, they will stand aloof. But after a few hours or 1 or 2 days, they will start interacting with that visitor. The reason is because they are watching you, the parent, to see how you are going to interact with that person. If you hate that person, you will see they will hate the person also. Then for the older children, especially those who already enter puberty, the girls who are already becoming like a woman, or the boys who are now growing up, we need to teach them to be careful when someone of the opposite gender comes close to them and start making themselves unusually friendly. They should be very careful. When they notice that somebody is making themselves unusually friendly, we should tell them that they should quickly come and tell us. You see, I always say that it is best to make our children our friends. Don't ever be in the opposite team with your child, because you will end up scoring a goal for your opponent one of these days, which is the devil. So that both of you can work together for a common goal, you must be in the same team. No matter what your child is doing or does, you should never push that child away. Rather, you must draw that child closer to yourself, because that is the only way it can be a win-win. Otherwise, both of you will likely lose at the end. So it's important that we always keep our children closer to us, no matter what it is. So when a new person come into their life, or somebody of the opposite gender is trying to make themselves unusually friendly with them, you will see they will quickly talk to you about it. And when they talk to you about it early enough, it becomes easier for you to advise them on what to do. For your boys, you teach your boys to create boundaries, that they should not be careless when a girl come close to them. You will see some of these young people, they will be telling you and say, in fact, I am lucky, all my friends are boys. That is a girl talking. Or you see the boy, they will say, all my friends are girls. I remember when I was a teenager also, they used to call me Balogun lẹ́yìn obìnrin, that is Balogun that always follow after women. You see, and myself, I pride myself in that name, because I just feel good that I see these girls, they left all the other boys and they are coming to play with me. These are things we should caution our boys against. They should not forget that ladies will naturally want to hang around them. This is normal. But if they are not careful, they will become sexually attracted to those girls. And for the girls also, if they notice that a boy or a man is getting too intimate with them, they need to open their eyes and create what I call comfortable boundaries. Not only that, they should come and talk to you about it. And when they come to talk to you about it, please don't express surprise. When you express surprise, you shock them and they will withdraw. They may not tell you something else another time. So don't expect surprise. Just make your countenance, your face look as neutral as possible, and be saying, mommy, you see that boy, see, he likes me so much. You say, daddy, if you see that girl, she only come to play with me. It is only me she plays with, or every day, only me she play with, only me. Just say, So this is how, and the more you say with a smile, the more they open up. The more they open up. And when you notice that they have opened up everything, you then sit them down and then give them heart-to-heart counsel. And at the end of that heart-to-heart counsel, you tell them and say, please, whenever this boy or this girl tells you anything, don't forget to tell me. Promise me you will tell me. Like Make them feel at home with you. Make them feel comfortable around you. Relax. Don't express shock. Don't express surprise and say, you mean a boy I started talking to you? No, we don't need to do that as parents. We must learn to calm down. Tell yourself, calm down. These young people, they will open up everything to us if we don't send them away. All right? But when we send them away, the question is, where should they go to? You are sending them back to where you are trying to prevent them from. Yes, it is not your intention, but that is what is happening. Part of the things you will teach your young people is that emotion usually grow with intimacy. Yeah. The closer they get to someone, the more they will get emotionally attached to that person. These are the things you will let them know. You see, the good thing about letting them know all of this is because if they have not experienced it, the first time they will be experiencing it, do you know what happened? They will remember you. Oh, this is what daddy talked about. Oh, this is what mommy talked about. And your counsel will now become their guiding angel, giving them instruction from within. And that is the most powerful instruction that we ever get, because you are not there to say kai, but what you have equipped them with is what will now keep them from falling into problem, into troubles, into errors. So emotion usually weaken people's self-defense. The moment people become emotional, their defense becomes weakened. This is the reason you see some people, when they get too emotional with someone, it becomes difficult for them to tell that person no, because of the emotion that is already involved. So emotion often weakens self-defense. It does not matter the barrier anyone has built around him or herself. The moment you become emotional, emotion will break down those barriers and make you easily vulnerable. This is the things we teach our young people. And when they notice they are getting too familiar with someone of the opposite gender, please tell them it is time to become very careful, extremely careful, so that they don't open their spring of life to contamination, to merciless invaders. So this is important for us to equip our young people from when they were children until they become adults, when they will be able to stand on their own and say no to any form of allures or temptations to do evil. Any child that can sing nursery rhyme can learn age-appropriate sex education. A 2-year-old is not too small to learn that this is your private part, this is your public part, your lip, your vagina, your penis, your this, your that are your private part. These ones, nobody must touch it. Daddy must not touch it. Mommy must not touch it. Nobody must touch it. Still on creation of unsolicited familiarity. Let me also extend this to their very close friends. You see, your child meets a lot of other children while he or she is in school or away from you. They meet other boys and other girls from different homes, different backgrounds. Some parents have time for their children, some do not. Some parents keep their children at the mercy of nannies and guardians while they travel all over the world for business and all whatnot. While you on your own, you spend time with your own child, teaching them what they need to know. However, we have noticed that we teach our children so many things, but we don't teach them sex education. It's very important that you teach them some of the things they can experience even among their classmates. Recently, we had an experience in a particular school where a 6-year-old boy was caught in the school toilet sucking the penis of another 7-year-old boy. That is how terrible our world has become. You cannot make assumption. You cannot assume that your children knows what they should know. We must teach them. It's possible that there is an adult somewhere that is already molesting that 7-year-old boy, who has come to the school now to initiate a 6-year-old boy. That is what is currently known. What is not known is how many other children has been initiated into into gayism, homosexuality. These are things we should teach our children. We should not just say, oh, boy and girl. Let them know that if a boy is touching you in some particular part of your body, your buttocks, your breasts, and that person is the same gender with you, they should come and report to you, or they should report to their teachers immediately. And when they come home, they should tell you about it, or anybody at all. We have even seen children being molested by their teachers. These are things that if we have equipped these children early enough, it will be very easy for them to quickly report to us when they sense danger. And when we get those reports early enough, we will be able to intervene, and our intervention will be timely. It will not be too late. Second thing I will talk about is when someone is creating false humility. Tell them they should come and report to you. This means that you should have told them or taught them what false humility does. For instance, you should have taught your child that people who are older than you should respect them by calling them either uncle or aunties or this or that, or sir or ma, and so on. Let them know that if anybody now comes to them, somebody who is older than them, maybe John for instance, and say, oh, Uncle John, how are you? And Uncle John will reply, oh, Deborah, don't call me Uncle John again, just call me John. I'm your friend, call me John. Let that be a red flag, a signal that is strong enough for your child to raise alarm for. Know that if somebody who is older than them is trying to become their mate, they should report, whether the person meant it for good or for whatever reason. They should come and report to you. The moment they report to you, you know what will happen naturally as a parent? You will likely zoom your light on that particular person and watch the person step around your child. And when that happens, the person will not be able to carry out his or her evil plot against your child. Did you understand this? So this is important to teach our children all of this so that they can escape the danger that is inherent in being victims to sexual predators. Please, let's teach them that when someone of the opposite gender, especially who is older than them, is trying to act as though he or she is their age mate, they must be careful. Some people often intentionally act humbly just to get our children attention. They just want to get their attention, and they often use sweet compliments to weaken their self-defense. They say, hey, you're a good boy, you're a good girl, and so on. And for older one, they come and speak sweet words. In fact, some men have realized that women, ladies, girls are carried away with sweet words, so they will come with their baggage of sweet words to entice and weaken the self-defense of our girls. This also underscores the importance of being friend with your child, no matter the age your child is, whether they are 2 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 25 years. No matter the age your child has achieved, you should be their friend. You should be their friend, because when they sense those signs of danger, you should be the primary person they will come and report to. And when they report to you, you will be able to help. And remember, I told you that when they are reporting to you, please don't express surprises, don't express shock. Ensure that your facial expression remain neutral so that they can open up freely to you. And when they open up to you, please don't take what they have told you for granted. Act on it, even when you don't know the full truth around it. It is your duty as a parent to protect your child, because you are the chief security officer of your child. You are the primary, number one security officer of your child. Don't fail your child. Don't fail your adolescent boy. Don't fail your adolescent girl. Equip them with all that they need to know. When a man is coming to them with sweet words, let them come and report to you. Let them talk to you about it. Because the moment they become enticed with those sweet words, it becomes difficult to get them back. In summary, what we have discussed today, we have talked about sensitizing our children when someone comes around them and is creating unsolicited familiarity. And we have also talked about when they come around them and they are forming or creating false humility. These are red flags, these are danger signs that our children need to know about. And most importantly, remain a friend to your child, no matter the age of your child. Be their friend, be their confidant, because you are their primary, number one, and chief security officer. Please ensure they remain secured. Till I see you again in the next series of this teaching, please remain blessed. And don't forget to subscribe, share, make comment, and like this video if you have found it helpful. Bye.